So last year we suffered our first relegation of the save. We've now got more than a few players wanting to leave our club because we got relegated, including the likes of Maher Vajramovich, Yasmin Kotovic and Andrzej Lazovic. The club atmosphere is struggling because we've got 8 players unhappy with us for one reason or another, but the support is still really good. As the new season ticks over, we are expected to finish in 10th place, which is not ideal for a newly relegated team to be suffering, but I genuinely believed that we could at least have a decent season regardless, because let's be frank, we might have finished second from bottom, but we still won our last 5 league games in a row, and as far as I'm concerned, you don't do that by accident, so there was some quality in the side. We just need to find it. Despite that though, I am sticking with my tactic because I know it's not the tactic that was broken, it was just the players were not of good quality. And despite that, we are still going to try and play as many players as possible that are in the team, even if they haven't been amazing. We do have plenty of players good enough for this level, including the likes of Stanijovic, Popovic, Bozic, Maric, Aleksejevic, Lazapejic, Maikan, and Lazovic, all of whom are good enough to play in this division and should hopefully get promoted, even if some of them are older than the others. And that was just talking about the first team. We've also got Filip Gogic, who's good enough for this division, Alexa Kosic, Milanotovic, and of course, the latest player and probably the best player we've ever produced in the save, Ivan Stosic, who I genuinely believe will be going to a big club in the future. We just don't know who he'll go to or what we'll have to worry about in the future. He's 16 now, he'll turn 17 throughout the season. How long can we keep hold of this guy, and can he help us get promoted in the first of asking? Let's find out in the new season. So we are at the winter break and we look at the youth intake preview, and 5 stars apparently, with 1 good DM, a good attacking midfielder, and a good winger to come through. We may have some other players come through, but I doubt they'll be a good quality. Looking at the players that are expected to be coming through the team, 2 strikers, 2 attacking midfielders, 1 midfielder, 2 DMs, and 2 centre-backs, and a goalkeeper, which means the spine of the team should be getting strengthened quite nicely, even if I don't use all those positions. But still, what's been happening with the results? So we started the year in a very questionable way. We drew the first game before we won by 2 goals to 1 the next game, but the rest of the month we didn't win. And in fact, we didn't win until the end of September, which was a bit of a concern because I genuinely believed we should be able to beat half these teams. But then we got into October and we were pretty much flawless apart from maybe a few hiccups here and there and 2 draws here and there, but then we lost the last league game. And then we got to November, and let me just tell you here now, I don't think I've ever had a November as bad as this. We won the first game against FK Rad by 1-0 before we lost 6 games in a row in all competitions. And I couldn't believe how badly we were playing. It was like my players had decided, you know what, we don't want to play good football anymore. We want to see how badly we can make things, and they did. This is probably the worst run of form I could ever wish for, and we're very lucky not to have lost the last game, because we're 1-0 down and then equalised in the 89th minute. So yes, not ideal that we are this bad. And going into the winter break, we're only 2 points ahead of the relegation zone. We are 10 points away from our top half finish, and that is not good enough for a team that has just been relegated. Indonesia have been even worse than us. They're 2 points behind, but we need to pick up our form and quickly. And I genuinely believe it is the players wanting to leave that's caused the issues. And atmosphere's been terrible. It's gone up apparently. I don't know why it went up or anything, but look at the players still wanting to leave. We've also got Peter Orico wanting to leave because he wants more first team football. These players wanting to leave and not being happy with the current first team football in one reason or another is causing us problems, and we might need to sell some of these players just to make our atmosphere better, and morale manager might need to become a thing. But yes, this has been a difficult time, and we legitimately could be relegated for the 2nd year running, and if we get relegated from this division, we lose our job. There's no question about it, and it's gotten to the point that the board are unhappy with our performance. They want a mid-table finish, We're currently not doing that. And I don't remember a time I've legitimately been in danger of 2 straight relegations, but there you go. We could be in danger of this. Can we turn this around, or are we destined to be relegated this season? What about our youth intake? Is that going to be good or not? Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived to our youth intake, and oh my god, we got a player we needed, and it's a defender, a centre-back. We also got a good DM as well, just in case we lose our best DM right now. But, oh my goodness, we needed this and quickly. So, we're going to look at the players that we've just been given, and I'm just going to say here now, I'm very happy we got them. We have Zoran Jovovic in the winger position, and he could be really good. Yes, he's unambitious and tries to play his way out of trouble, but he's got some good attributes that I could really use to my advantage. We could also play him as an inverted winger, which we could still utilize someone who could do this, and if we can get him to do well, he's 15. We maybe could train to play on the right, but who knows? Let's try and work something out with him. He could also be a striker, looking at this actually, as an advanced forward. He hasn't got the best finishing or dribbling, but everything else, apart from his work rate, looks decent, to say the least. Nemanja Kolam is a DM who I'm going to try and play as a deep line playmaker. Yes, I will literally force anyone to play in the roles here because I'm desperate enough to do so, and I will do it. But also, she's now not really good enough for the first team, so this guy being as the backup to Stosic is going to be really good for me, and we can utilize this to our advantage. But this is the man I've been hoping to get for a long time. Nadine Hozo is perhaps the defender I've been desperate for, and if you look at the strength here, he's already the 4th best. He's got the best potential, and compare him to Kortovic, these are our best 2 defenders. That's a problem. This is our best centre-back partnership, and I really don't like the fact that's the case. One's 16, the other's 19. They're both Bosnian. This is our centre-back partnership in the future. And it's painful to say that that's where our problems lie. This has been partly the reason why we're struggling so much in the league. Our strength in centre-backs is so bad, we are struggling to save our lives. That and the fact we've had so many players unhappy, but still, centre-backs need strengthening. This is a good way to do so. Hopefully, Hozo will help us in that. We've also got another DM in Milicevic, and this guy could be really good. Now, he's not really a great deep line playmaker, but he could play as a centre midfielder if we needed him to. I'm not going to play as a centre back, let's be honest. That's a stupid move. But still, if we can train him to do well, he's 15. Attributes could be worked on, but we can work on that and make him better. Rajko Sevic is also a player that we could utilize. A good winger on both wings. Very good. And actually plays the inverted winger role I like to use on this side of the pitch. So, could be useful. Nice. We also got another goalkeeper, and I do like goalkeepers, even if this guy's a mercenary. I hate mercenaries because they're greedy buggers. But he's 6'4". He doesn't have the best aerial reach, but he's 6'4". Give me 6'4", please. Good reflexes, good jumping reach. Could be worked on, but he's only 15. And he's 6'4". Last person I want to bring up is the striker. I don't think he's going to be good enough, but he's a striker who actually has already got 1.5 stars in accountability. Not terrible. Not amazing, but not terrible. And has 14 penalty taken. I never realized that before. Oh my days, that's going to be useful. Oh, also, since we last met, we've played 6 times. We've won 4 times, drawn once, lost once. We're doing much better in the league now, and I'm happy for it. Though we are still in 12th place. Yeah, this is not being going amazingly, but we now have an 8-point gap between ourselves and relegation zone, so I like to think we're going to be safe. But with 10 games left, anything can happen. Cordoba are top of the table. You know, the team that cost us survival last year. Yeah, they're top. I don't like them. I really want revenge against them. But we can't beat them, so, issues there. Can we do more? Are we going to do more? Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We only got 3 points in the last 3 matches of the regular season, so we're in a relegation fight anyway, but we're fine. We got 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. We lost the last 2 games. But at that point, we were already safe. And as far as I'm concerned, we got complacent and only finished 6 points above the relegation zone. We almost got relegated. Yeah, that's great. We did keep our job though, so we haven't been sacked. I am not happy with what happened in the season, so let's talk about this and look at the fact that Lazovic has now got 19 goals. Someone's happy, by the way. He got happy all of a sudden after the winter break. Why did it take him so long? Well, he got 19 goals, so really, I'm not that terribly upset. I'm just happy he decided to turn up for the season. We do have some players who are unhappy still, and Kordovic, Maric, and Alexisevic are still unhappy with the fact we got relegated, and Maric actually really asking to leave. And while Alexisevic and Kordovic are still internal, we're going to get rid of Peter Ugrica, and Filip Bozic is wanting to move on as well. So we're going to make a few moves in the summer, but let's review the season as a whole, shall we? So yes, no confetti is coming down because why would we be celebrating a situation where we were underperforming this year? Yes, I can actually say we underperformed this year massively, and we almost got relegated. We got rid of 2 players. Partly, I wonder if this is the reason why we did so bad as well, because we got rid of these 2 players who were like integral parts. They're both 29 though, and playing for teams lower than us in division. It could have been better. We did get some loan fees out, and we actually sent players out on loan. So we are starting to use our affiliates quite a bit more to really get development in, and we did make some money from it. I don't know how one of my players only got 6.02 average rating in 25 matches. How bad was he? Really? We were told to get a mid-table finish. We did get mid-table finish, apparently. I feel like we didn't, but at the same time, it could have been worse. And we actually had a 9-point gap going into the last 7 games. So yeah, we got really good placing towards the end after we actually officially secure our survival. Why did it take so long to do so is my question though. We did get knocked out of the second round of the cup though, losing 3-0 to Stankom, and I don't like them. I don't like losing to my rivals, let's be honest. Why would I like that at all? But yes, biggest win was actually a 4-0 win away from home against Integer, because we like beating up Integer apparently. Don't know why, but we do. Match member was a 3-0 victory against Radnik Sodulika, so that's good. And the goal of the season was scored by Pajic in the 2-0 victory very early on. Let's look at this goal, because we might as well, right? Is this a goal of the season contender? It's a free kick. Yeah, I can see why that's a goal of the season. That's actually a really good free kick. How did he score that? That's ridiculous. Good stuff. Well done to him, honestly. Finances, everything went down. Apparently sponsorship went down by just $1,000. I didn't realize it was only $1,000 it went down by, but hey, sponsorship's doing quite well for us, let's be honest. Everything else went down though, unfortunately. We only sold about 13,560 shirts worth of money, and we sold about 249 shirts. I don't think the shirts are that expensive, just all the merchandise sales was not great. And we only sold about 1.3 grand outside of Serbia, so could be better. How we lined up was this. You're going to see some names that you've never seen before, or you haven't seen for a while, so I'm going to talk about this. Stanijovic, we really have made our first choice goalkeeper now. He's actually become a really good goalkeeper. If that doesn't scream he's a good goalkeeper, and if this is too small, I'm going to zoom in for this. He's become really good now, and I'm very happy he's become that good at the age of 20. He's 20, and he's this good already. Can you blame me for being excited about him? Popovic was also the main team, and did quite well for himself. He's always been my #1 right back. He's been really consistent for me, and he's useful to say the least. So Kordovic was actually #1 centre back, and he's improving slowly but surely. He likes to knock the ball past his opponents because he learned in the trait, and I'm very disappointed about the fact that I let that happen, but I'm trying to get rid of it. Pedoristic is still playing. He's not amazing. I'm just going to say it here now. He says he's also trying to show about the right back situation. No, centre back. He's not amazing, but he can play on both feet, so that's why I use him, really. So I've been using Stefan Ratkovic as the left back, and he's actually becoming quite good. He does have low determination, but he's actually improving that overall over time, which is very useful, and I think he'll be our best left back by a country mile. He really is, and it's good to see him do so well here. Unsurprisingly, Stosic is now amazing, and he is going to leave us at some point. I don't know when he will, but Stosic is ridiculous as a 17-year-old. He's no longer got a promising midfielder tag to his name, but he's still quite promising as far as I'm concerned. We're going to lose him, and very quickly, I think. So, Maher Vajramovich has actually forced his way into the first team, and he's actually improving. Another Bosnian, who does have Serbian nationality, but came in for our academy a few years ago, fits the mold of what I want as a box-to-box midfielder. He just fits it so well, and he works it so well. He's got 7.09 average rating as a box-to-box midfielder. I love this guy to bits. I really do. I think he's been the missing link we needed in the midfield for a while. Mina Maric wasn't even the first team. Understandably, Alexesovic is still wanting to leave. He's still really good. I might have to sell him in the summer because I genuinely believe that his unhappiness has legitimately caused me problems. And we do have teams wanting him. So I might need to sell this guy for money. And he's only got 1 year left in his contract. I don't see him renewing his contract anytime soon. And that's a problem. Lazar Pešić is no longer unhappy and has been doing well for me. As a right winger, he's been really useful and I like him. He's 25, yes, but could be a SuperLiga player. So as far as I'm concerned, could be useful. He also got 7 goals and 7 assists. Alexei Kostic-Menetovic, 29, is good. I don't think he's got many more seasons left in him. I'm going to say this here now. And he's still got a 6.78 average rating this year. Not really good enough for what I'm wanting, and I need more from him. So, when I got that, and then I got Lazovic, who is got 19 goals, but he's now only considered a 3-star player. He's also someone I need to move on, potentially, either this season, or next season, or the season afterwards. I will need to move on Lazovic in the future. He just doesn't feel like a player that's going to be good enough for me long term, and at the age of 32, he's declining and starting to do so quite quickly. So, yeah, it's not great, is it? Accolades. Kotovic, despite my complaints, was actually the best player for the team in average ratings and was the fans player of the season and young player of the season, while Pešić was the man who got the goal of the season. Lazovic was the man with the top goal scorer, and Pešić also got the most assists. Lazovic getting 3 player of the match awards, Kotovic getting the most highest average rating of 7.1. Stolcic getting 98 passes per 90 is also really good. And Stanislavic actually got 11 clean sheets. Apparently that's a record, which I'm a bit concerned by since we played 39 games this year. And we only got 11 clean sheets. I need to work on that. Lazovic has now got 96 goals as well. Colin actually played a game for me this year. And is the youngest ever player to play for me at the age of 15 years and 140 days. Well, Pazovic scored at the age of 15 years, 337 days. The fact I'm playing this kid as a centre-back is a concern. He's terrible. I was actually forced to play him in this season. That speaks volumes of my problems, doesn't it? Also, why is he being sold as a... He's got 1 crossing. I'm never going to play him as a right back. For goodness sake. Thankfully, the board only want a mid-table finish and to work towards a top half finish in the next couple of years. So, we're fine with that. Thank you, board, for being polite about it. So, let's look at this here and now. And Stolcic is now considered the best player in the team. Minamovic is good, but has been causing problems and is another reason why I think we did so bad in midfield. He's good enough for the top flight going forward, I think, but he's wanted by other teams, and I might I'm thinking about moving on in the summer. He has been a liability at times, and if we look at his average ratings this year, yeah, he's been a liability, isn't he? Look at this. 6.74 in the last 2 seasons, and he started pretty much every game I could really throw him into. And it got to the point that this year, I generally thought he was causing more problems than good. Last year, at least scored and got 2 assists. This year, barely did anything. And we kind of threw Vajramovich in the team instead of him, and we actually improved as a result, which is a bit concerning when you think of it that way. If I was to get rid of Alexesovic and Maric, we do have a replacement. And I'm just going to talk about this. Yeah, this is my lineup, by the way. Also, we actually started playing. I literally think I need to play him. And if we look at this here and now, this will be my starting lineup, I think, going forward. Rakovic is also really good now. We got Stolcic, who will be here. We could be playing Rakitic in the DM, in the centre midfield position. I know what you're thinking. This guy's not good enough. But if I sell both my really good centre midfielders, this guy's going to have a very good shot again in the first team. And with Gorgic being 30 and not really amazing, I might not have a choice. So that's a thing as well. Also, with my campaign here, as well as Miletovic, I actually been experimenting with a new striker. Because Milorad Miletic has actually been good, and we gave him the first team appearance this season, got a 6.3 average rating, but while he's not been very good and he's not very consistent and has got injury problems, he's been developing really well because of his professional personality. And I thought, you know what? We've already saved, might as well give him the first team appearance. Yeah, the 6.3 average rating was not great. As a striker, if he improves and he just works his way up to be a really good player, we could have a superstar on our hands, even if he's very inconsistent. Yeah, this is how desperate I'm getting. I'm literally trying to throw kids in the first team. Not literally, but I'm trying to give as many young talent as possible first team football. I'm playing him ahead of Lazovic. Is that mad? I mean, if you look at this now, I don't think that's mad, personally, which sounds mental to say the least. Also, we are going to play this. I think this is my lineup going forward, and I'm going to get rid of you. If I have to do what I want to do, then we have Vuk as one of the wingers. Maikan as a winger as well. Maybe as a striker as well if we need him to be. But this should be our lineup for next year. I think it'll work, but we need our players to develop. And you can see my problem here, right? I've got a very big gap in quality in midfield and centre-back and left-back. That's my weakness. And maybe up front as well if they don't develop. But my quality in the line has been terrible, and we need better players. It's really not great how bad the squad is in balance. But development should hopefully help with that. And who knows? Maybe we'll be better for next year. So let's see who went up and down at the end of the season after all. So we are back, and I don't think any team got promoted. No team got promoted for the playoffs because Modlest Lacana and Proleta Novi Sad both won. So the two teams that finished in the playoff positions didn't even make it up there. And in fact, OFK Beograd didn't even finish in second place. They actually didn't even finish in the top 4. They fell down quite hard after the end of the season. So Guadalajara won the league in the end, and Loznica ended up winning promotion up instead. So the teams going up are those two. The teams going down are Zlatibor and I don't know how to say his team's name, but Selaznica. I'm just going to say Selaznica because I know the accent probably says something else, but I don't know how to say the team's name, so I apologize in advance. But Partizan have won again. They're really good, and I don't know what we can do to stop them. They've now won 6 league titles on the spin, and are running away with all the records, I think, for the most league titles and cups. But yeah, I don't think anything else happened since we last met. Club atmosphere actually went down since we last met, so that's a bit concerning. And hopefully we can fix that with some moves of players and get rid of some idiots who decide to, well, sabotage everything for us. But what I'm going to do is end this here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know it might be a bit different. I didn't really focus on some bits and pieces like the results and such, but thought you might want to focus more on the players that I wanted to see who I was going to really throw in the first team this year and who really was the best players for the last campaign we just had. Let me know what you thought of that, and let me know what you thought of the video as a whole, and what you think we'll be able to do next year. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on that down below. We should have a new video next Saturday. But either way, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.